Hello and welcome back, fellow Kislevites and members of the Ice Court. It is the Heir of Ice here, and we're going to continue our campaign as Kislev. Hannibal Bearkas of Carthage is defending against Kairos Fateweaver, and for whatever reason, the Auto-Resolve seems to think that Kairos has this one in the bag. I'm convinced otherwise. Let's go check it out. Alright, we're going to get the battle underway. I am still not having enough time to do the cinematic battles, so you'll have to just be patient. As soon as I can bring them back, I will bring them back. This next week I might be able to, actually, because I'll be working from home all week, assuming we don't end up with more of the insanity that has kept me working. I worked from like 7:30 a.m. to about 9 o'clock p.m. on Friday. It's a heck of a day because we had something crazy come up. And then I ended up working again for another few hours on Saturday, and I didn't even get the worst of it. I had team members who got it far worse than me in terms of how much more hours they put on it. It's just been a little bit crazy. Yeah, but trying to get it done. And like I said, next week I'll be working at home all week, which means that recording will probably be easier. As I will be able to kind of fit it in between other tasks, like unless next week, like I said, is a total breakdown, kind of like this one ended as. But I don't think so, because this was pretty unusual. Anyway, I'm using a tactic here because we get the garrison, and then my army is a bunch of archer spam, so this is going to be mass archers, and this is actually really bad news for Tzeentch. And the reason I say that is because Tzeentchian forces have pretty low hit points. They are not particularly resistant to missile fire. They do have a barrier, but it doesn't last long. And they can hit hard from range, but Kislev outranges them. Like, Kislev is one of the factions that can go toe-to-toe with Tzeentch in a missile fight and easily come away the victor. And part of that has to do with the fact that Tzeentch is really bad in melee. And their ineptitude in melee is definitely going to be a major weakness for them, because most factions could come in and put a big hurt on just a whole army of archers like that we have here, but Tzeentch would not be included amongst those factions when I say most factions. I'm going to push forward a little further and come in range. The next line of blue horrors, you can see that the only stuff that Tzeentch has in range right now is going to be the Soul Grinder. They do have some key units here. They've got a Burning Chariot, which can cause a lot of damage, and then of course Kairos here has a lot of magic as well. And, you know, if he had Tzeentch's Firestorm right here, or the Infernal Gateway, he could cause tremendous damage to me the way I'm set up. So it is a bit risky, because if he dropped one of those spells on us, we would feel it big time. But I'm working under the assumption that the AI is too stupid to do the right thing. That is usually a pretty safe assumption to operate under. So I'm going to just start unleashing Kislevite Fury all over the Tzeentchian demons. You can see we've already put some major holes in their line. They are pushing forward, and they're going to be coming under overwhelming missile fire. Absolutely overwhelming. And I'm going to take a couple of rows of my archers like this. And I'm going to back up just a little to create some separation from those first two lines, because there will probably be bleed through, and then that'll allow my two lines in the back to continue to fire. I had a couple of Kislev dervishes. Let's move back here. Just gonna take my Zargard and run towards that blue horror. Yeah, so you can see the Chaos Knights kind of penetrating that front line, and so by backing up, it's gonna allow my troops to continue to fire, be able to put effective fire downrange. The Zargard is part of the garrison, so I don't have to worry about it being singled out and killed. Kairos just dived down on Hannibal Bearkas, so I'm going to give him some unwanted attention. So I'm going to turn a bunch of units into him and open fire. He finally used a spell there to actually punish me a little. That Zargard is going to really clean up those horrors. So you can see Kairos here is just under fire from multiple directions. Actually, I think it's not Kairos. We're hitting the Exalted Lord of Change. Then we'll hit Kairos. Regardless, he won't be alive long.
We fight for
Alright, so that's the end of the Exalted Lord of Change. Let's turn our attention to Kairos. And Hannibal Bearkas is holding his ground pretty good. I'm going to use the Helm of Discord there. And weaken up Kairos a bit, and now we should see a lot of archer fire inbound for Kairos. Alright, so let's check this one out up close. Yeah, he's taking a lot of archer fire, and he does not have the armor to withstand this type of stuff. He does have some, I believe, physical resistance, maybe? I don't know exactly what he's got, but he's dead now. That's a nice, that was actually a really nice cast for the AI there. Yeah, Kairos is going down, and that is going to be the end of his army along with it, so it'll be a success for us. It's like the Soul Grinder was the only thing left, and it's about to go down too in a hail of arrows like everything else. Yeah, just overwhelming firepower there. Alright, so that was a pretty clear-cut victory. I'm going to go ahead and just take the... cash. Not going to be much left of the forces there, and we're just going to leave them alone. It's just a few Chaos Knights. We're still busy recruiting, and I'd like to do some more recruiting. Our global recruitment, I'm going to go ahead and start throwing some Warbear Riders in there. We need some anti-large in that army. And then with Tsarina Katarin, I had started to move north to Krakadordan here. I was basically trying to help out the dwarves of Krakadrak by providing some cover against the demons up here, and let's go ahead and keep providing it. So I'm going to push forward and take out Corson here. Should be an auto-resolve battle, yeah, although they caused me way more damage than I deserved. You know what, let's just take the cash out of this one too.
The Tsarina is merciful.
Yeah, this arena is so very merciful. I can't replan here because we're out in the... There's too much corn corruption at the moment. Winter Pyre is still under control of our enemies. I may just start moving towards it and see if we can take that off of Crimson Skull as well. Picked up a Blizzard Brooch, Stock, and Unspottable. That's kind of cool. Might have a use for that. So, Hannibal Bearkas levels up here. Let's go ahead and start with Reassuring Presence. It is good to be able to shirk off some of that attrition damage. And let's get our Frost Maiden here. And let's go with Ice Sheet. That's a good spell. Helps slows enemy down. And speaking of good stuff here, you all left me a ton of comments on the last episode, so I want to get to some of them. One Rio Dream says, Yakov Smirnov voice, in Erish Kislev, bear baits you. Yeah, you are correct, One Rio Dream. You are correct. Well done. That was the top comment up here, and I agree. That is some good stuff. Let's see, got a skill point here for our Frost Maiden. We'll just put it into Swift Wing, and then we are ready to end our... Or no, we're not quite ready. We got another character here.
Kislev's victory was always certain.
It was, Tsarina, it was. Next comment was from the Kill Scribe, and let's get an update here. Korn is still leading at 4,632 losses. Nurgle is close behind at 4,118. And the Ropsman clan is still at 3,609 because they are dead. The Sornling bringing up spot number 5 at 3,589. Do appreciate the Kill Scribe for his frozen record of kills. You all gave him a bunch of thumbs up. Please make sure to continue to do so. He is fantastic. Castalton wants a non-aggression pact. Let's agree to it. You know, I haven't been in the diplomacy screen in a while either, so let's jump in the diplomacy screen. Take a look at any options that might help us out. There are some more Tzeentch forces inbound towards Kraken. I don't know, however you say that. I can't begin to say that Norse stuff. That's just gonna be not gonna happen for me. I think we can start recruiting more units. Ooh, no, 4 more units.
Do they hunger for undeserved
And I want to start filling up more units in here. At the moment, I've got Warbear Riders coming, so 2 more turns till we get them. We need sleds.
I reject any who crave
We're going to get
power.
4 light war sleds. And that will also be a great addition to Hannibal's army. And now let's get into diplomacy. And let's go ahead and make these agreements with the Great Orthodoxy. Balance that out, get a little bit of cash from them. So that'll get us a little more trade income. Let's go see what else is going on while we're in here.
Onward.
Zufbar will take a
Let's
trade
hear
agreement
what you
and
have to
military
say.
access.
We'll hear it before Oath Gold. I suppose.
All right. And
You are yet to transgress again.
Cathay not particularly interested in our trade right now, although possibly over time. Saberskin probably not either. Nordland and some of these others maybe. I don't know. Let's hit the quick deal.
Be on
We are
guard.
looking for trade
Sigmar's
agreements.
will.
Nope. No one else is interested in trade agreements at the moment.
Lord Magistrate.
Nor non-aggression pacts.
So,
There's some military access. So let's do that
Come
one.
then. Only Sigma's god, Ulrich, can judge it worthy or no.
Balance
On
that
it.
offer. Those guys are
All right.
really wanting military access.
Approach us, friend, and make your offer.
Sigma's will.
All right.
Cathay Eternal.
Excellent. So our income's up some. We picked up some nice income there. See if there's any buildings. And I'm just gonna start throwing some of these down. We've got some openings at Kislev. This one's gonna produce more fur and growth. It's gonna reduce the upkeep for those Warbear Riders that we just asked for. This one will allow us to recruit Griffin Legion if needed, so I am going to grab that. And Hannibal Bearkas can finally get his bear mount, so this is perfect. We're going to get him his
A
Warbear.
symbol of my unparalleled authority.
It is a symbol of your unparalleled authority, I agree. Alright, Tsarina Katarin can go into a
Bring me to my
camp
tent.
stance to start replenishing, and we'll move towards Winterpire. And see if we can snag another.
No more
Are
blood
we down a
for
unit here?
you,
We are
demon.
down a unit. Need
We are
to
both
put in a
servants.
unit in here
You
because
and I.
I don't have one, but the global recruitment's full at the moment, so try and make sure we get something good in there. It'd be great to get an elemental bear, but just don't think we have access to elemental bears yet. And they're not on the way in Kislev. Yeah, they're gonna be coming from Prague eventually. And we've got good growth right now. Control is looking good. All in all, things are looking pretty positive for us right now. Let me get to a few more of your comments here. So, thanks again to Killscribe. After this one is Eric Alloway. And he had some comments regarding whatever I was talking about the state of Warhammer 3. And I'm going to read just a little bit of what he has. He says, there's a huge difference in experience of a player who plays more casually and someone who plays professionally. A person who puts truly massive amounts of time into a game is going to have vastly different priorities and requirements than a person who plays a few hours here and there. Exactly, I agree. And that's probably part of the reason why Legend of Total War feels very differently about the game than I do. Because of the style of play, the amount of time of play, and other stuff like that. And since I play the game casually, I still have a lot of fun with it, and I don't want to stop playing it. And by the way, they put up patch notes as kind of a follow-up to our discussion. They will be improving a great many things about the Realms of Chaos, so I'm really excited. It looked like good changes. It's not all the changes that I would have made, but I'm not in charge. And you know, I looked at their changes. Their changes are good. So the big one that a lot of people are going to really be interested in is that if you go to the Forge of Souls now to intercept a faction that has all the souls and they're
The
trying to go and
motherland
fight
fights as
Bellicor, when you do that,
It is mine.
if you go and
by
beat
right.
them, they now lose all 4 of their souls and basically get thrown all the way back to the beginning of the race.
Divine chaos.
So that is going to be a really nice change. And the reason why that's such a good change is because it takes forever to get all 4 souls back. So even if like all of the AI factions got there ahead of you, you could beat them, total reset the souls race, and be in a really good position. So I think that that is going to be an excellent change and a very nice addition. Now, there were a few other changes. They were working on some crashes, bug fixes, other stuff like that. So I think overall, the next patch is going to be good. And then CA talked a little bit about a roadmap pushing forward. You all can go check that out. They posted it on Twitter and Facebook, or you can just go to TotalWar.com, and
None
they've
shall
got the news
question
there as well. But yeah, it looked like good news in general. So I was very
With
glad to
this,
see
I
it.
guard Kislev.
That should help a lot of people who are frustrated right now with the state of the Souls mechanic. So I'm excited for it, and I think you all probably will be too. Let's keep building. Let's get more dyes because we increased our trade partners recently, so it wouldn't hurt to produce more trade goods. I'm gonna put this patriarch
Never
into
yield.
this army.
Have we displeased Kislev?
Replenish!
All right. Let's see what our Adamans want here. Be the traditionalist. Infantrymen will be mustered, recruit rank, control. Let's do control. I'm not worried about the infantry recruit rank because whatever we recruit, it's going to get ranked up if it stays in my army for very long. Because they're going to be killing a lot of demons along the way. So let's get to some more comments, and I'm assuming that's why we had so many comments last time, is because we had that discussion. I suppose this time, if
My
y'all want to have
folks
some more
are at
discussion,
your service.
what do you all think of the changes that CA announced? Do you think that they're going to be good? And do you think they're going to make a lot of difference? They did also announce in the next patch that we were going to be getting a Steam Workshop. I think the Steam Workshop by itself will also help fix a ton of problems for people because it's going to let modders start doing things that CA either doesn't want to do, doesn't have time to do yet, or isn't willing to do, right? So it's going to open a lot of that up as well. And I'm very excited for it. Let's see. Growth, replenishment rate. Let's do this one. We don't have any enemies in our boundaries. Well, actually, we do have some headed in. We got some Tzeentch enemies headed through the pass up here. And Hannibal Bearkas is ready to ride out and meet them because he now has war sleds and war bear riders, and they have a lot of exalted pinks. We might let them come towards us here. I think we will, in fact. Let's let them come towards us so I can use my garrison to good effect here
Before me.
as well. So, how is Tsarina Katarin doing here?
Rule.
Just throwing a little more cash. There's a plague going on over here that's hopefully will go away soon. The corn corruption is now
Kislev
reducing
choose.
rather nicely, so I think that should leave us in a good position. Sorry, I got to text Mrs. Air back here. She was asking me something. All right. Let's see here. She was asking if I was finally done with work, and I am for the moment, which is a good feeling. I don't really have enough money to build what I want here, I don't think. Yeah, nah, I need a little more cash. So let's end our turn. There was a plague there at Bear Pit. And let me get to some more of your comments.
The Boca Palace's doors
Love
are
responding to the
open
comments. Apple Jean says, would be interesting to see the recruitment and integration of other factions' units into your army. I suppose you're talking about the, what do you call it? Oh, gosh. The Outpost. It slipped my mind there for a minute. Yeah, so let me see what we can do about Outpost. I forgot all the things we can recruit, but yeah, there could be some cool units out there. Depending on where your outpost is built, kind of depends on what you end up getting to recruit. All right, so it's one more comment here. The Seb says, I agree with your thoughts and views on this video in general. The reality is that there was a huge drop-off in players for Total War Warhammer 2 as well after the first month, and it picked up again when Mortal Empires was released and then dropped again. it would pick up whenever a DLC was released. Total War Warhammer 3 beat the peak number of Warhammer 2 players by a handy margin. All this can be seen on the Steam chart. Please bear in mind that this is coming from a player who never completed any of the Vortex race campaigns because I hated the mechanics. I finished campaigns on Vortex with Rapans, Emmerich, Tarox, so forth. Frankly, to most of us silent players, what streamers think means very little. The impressionable kids obviously do care, but I'm old, probably older than you. I've learned a lot from some streamers, but I tend to skip or switch off whenever they start their little petulant rants. I don't know who he's talking about. Anyway, he goes on for quite a while, so appreciate it, the Seb. That long comment, I read it all, and leave you a heart there too as a thanks for writing all that. But no, I agree, like it's going to depend on the people, and the numbers on this game did blow out game 2 as far as their initial numbers. Ooh, I don't want to get a... And I'm sure that it popped up from there on out. There are a number of people frustrated with the game in its current state, but I don't think the game is dead. I think people are probably fleeing it because they're used to having mortal empires, and they just don't have mortal empires out there yet for this. And so a lot of players are probably having a hard time moving over, and then you couple that with some of the frustrations that people have with the Souls mechanic that's about to get patched. And I think that explains a lot of players being gone. And I actually expect the number to pick up quite a bit when the, new Mortal Empires comes out. Immortal Empires, whatever they end up calling it. CA kind of tacitly called it Immortal Empires in their update. So I don't know what their plan is as far as what to call it. But I do expect that we will see the player count pick up, like I said, rather significantly. So we're attacked by Tzeentch over here. Let's beat them back. We get to use our garrison, which has mostly healed at this point. Once again, it says that the Tzeentchian forces are going to win handily, and that is just not true. They are going to get absolutely clobbered. And I have bear cavalry this time too, so these Chaos Knights are also going to get clobbered if they come in. Now, they do have a lot of Exalted Pinks, and Exalted Pinks, as you can see here, will do tremendous missile damage from range. So we have to be very careful that the Pinks don't get in range of our leaders, because they will melt your leaders. So let's go ahead and fight this one. All right, I've got the battle started. My line's going to be spread a lot more this time, like I'm not going to be as bunched up, but I'm using the same basic method, which is layers of archers. My Ice Guard are going to be holding up the rear, and I have both varieties, glaive and dual sword. I'm backing up my flanks. My flanks are going to be Cassars with spears, and they're going to be backed up by winged lancers and Kossovite dervishes. I've got my war sleds headed out to do some good old bear baiting. And then I've got my war bear riders and Hannibal Bearkas and my leaders near the back, because once again, you don't want your leaders up in range of those pinks and getting absolutely shredded. I'm going to go see if I can do a little bit of bear baiting here and lure in some units. We don't want our light war sleds to get utterly destroyed by pinks either, but it looks like we have lured some units in successfully, so I'm going to pull back and let those units get wrecked. I'm trying to pick off as many of the Tzeentch units as I can here, because this will allow me to fight them piecemeal rather than all together, and we've made it difficult for them to ever gain a flank. I do see some Chaos Knights headed my way. I'm going to ungroup these Bear Riders, swing them over here to this flank. That is good news. So we've just successfully bear baited a bunch of their units, and they're now pushing up closer to archery range. Gonna start absorbing some Tzeentch magic here, unfortunately. I'm gonna move to intercept on this flank. My Ice Guards need to start focusing fire into all those pinks. Those pinks are gonna start melting us pretty hard, so I'm gonna charge them with the war sleds. Got a lot of inactive units on this flank. I'm gonna start folding in. Yeah, the pinks are gonna start putting a big hurt on us. Get out there, sleds. All right, I'm gonna send my Warbear Riders in. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold with the with my other lines here. The less powerful units, we're gonna just hold. All right, the war sleds are making it forward. Our Ice Guard are starting to tear through that line of pinks there. They might be pushing forward, trying to go for a character snipe, which they do. I'm now going to sling to the other flank and go get into those other pinks. They do have some spawn in the vicinity. I'm now going to move forward with my Warbear Riders because I have these sleds headed in to hold missile fire from behind. Excellent. Alright, so my units should now shred the pinks out here. And my Warbear Riders now have this flank secured. There's no way those large units are going to break through. And we've just managed to bottle up all their pinks out there as well. In fact, I'm going to bring this cavalry and swing all the way over here to help my sleds. Let's bring Hannibal Bearkas out here as well. Alright, so we've mopped up the one flank. I'm going to go ahead and run some Zargard this way. Our Warbear Riders are doing really quite marvelously over here. There's a lot of units up against them, and they're kind of alone at the moment. Get back from that fight a little. Alright, I'm going to actually send this unit in. How are our sleds doing out here? They're holding up. Things could be better, but they're holding up. We've got a whole bunch of inactive units now. Start pushing Ice Guard over here. Let's start pushing these units up. Our sleds are holding. Our Warbear Riders are getting a bit of a shellacking now, too. I'm going to have to pull them back. They're overwhelmed, but they did manage to get a lot of kills. I got some regrouped units we can throw back in there. Let the Warbears rest. And Hannibal Bearkas is ready to come help the sleds now, too. I'm going to come in here and use the Helm of Discord. Perfect. Got the Helm of Discord active. Let's get those Zargard out there. And I think we got our Warbear Riders. Trying to get to safety with them. They got chased, but I think they'll be safe now. Let's throw some more melee over here. Our poor guy's getting a little bit cooked in that fight. That's the sleds. Yeah, we're not losing the sleds. The sleds are doing just fine because they're in there with a bunch of pinks, and the pinks are not very strong in melee, and then Hannibal is now up there to help support. So not a beautiful battle. We definitely took some losses, but we also caused some extensive damage. And the Warbear Riders were a very nice addition there. They got 42 kills. Most of those were anti-large kills. So that is going to be a success for us. The Ice Guard are just pouring in fire. Everything that's left, and it's mostly just the leadership for Tzeentch. Let's get our sleds out of there. Turn Hannibal Bearkas around, let him hold, and then I'm going to move my sleds out of the way and let my Ice Guard finish that up. There's some spawn of Tzeentch coming in over here. Let's take our Warbear Riders and see if we can help finish it real quick. Alright, Hannibal and the Zargard. They should be able to help finish that up. Alright, sleds are out to safety, so that is going to be a massive victory against forces of Tzeentch there that... Let's see... Just let our archers finish those guys off. I think some of our Ice Guards still have missiles. Yeah, there's a few of them who are still armed. That is going to be another solid victory for us. There's a cultist of Tzeentch who's trying to get away. I'm going to see if I can kill him. He's not mounted. So let's fast forward, see if we can catch up to him and take him out. It's kind of glitchy when you're trying to attack a unit from behind, and then he's not terribly far from the line anyway, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, see, like right there, we attacked from behind and got nothing. All right, second attack connected. Barrier down. Yeah, we're getting hits. It's not totally screwed up here. Sometimes they just get plowed by certain units. Oh man, yeah, Hannibal's doing some nice damage. He's got a bonus versus infantry, so ought to work well. Right, so that Tzeentch cultist is gonna get dead. There we go. That is a big win for us. I'm going to take the... Well, I guess I'm just going to take the cash again because the replin's not going to do a whole lot.
Leave them to starve.
So, we killed some folks in battle. And replenishment is looking good. Despite having taken the money off that, so yeah, replenishment will be good. And I need to get Tsarina Katarin into the realm of Slaanesh, I believe, is where I'm going to head next.
Bow before me.
And Hannibal has ranked up here. We can finish this reasserting presence. And I think we'll do Fervent, and then, of course, Draft Master. I want to get over to Lightning Strike, and also the abilities that reduce the upkeep cost of his army. Death Frost is really good against single entities. I'm going to throw that on. And honestly, we're going to do Frost Shield too, and then I'll do one more upgrade to Death Frost. And Crystal Sanctuary and Heart of Winter are going to be the spells that we really want. There, we're going to upgrade the Lullaby here, so our healing will be either more often, better. Yeah, it reduces the cooldown with the upgrade. And let's do Icon of Strength, and then Impassioned. You always want melee defense. Always want melee defense. So we've got a lot of portals we're going to need to close down. I'm going to come over to Kislev and recruit a Patriarch.
Patriarch of Kislev.
And start closing portals. Let's take a look. And build up our defenses a little higher here. It's going to take a pretty stiff chunk of cash there. I don't know how much money I want to spend on these provinces. They're going to be difficult to hold, but I'll spend it just in case. See if we get lucky. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. We cannot move the Tsarina yet. Can we?
My rule,
No.
my
Alright,
decision.
so... Wait, I was in the encamp stance. I came out of the encamp stance, and now I can't go back into it. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Well, I'll just beeline it for the portal then. And let's enter the Dark Prince's realm. No one else is there yet, so let's enter the rift.
The Dark Prince's realm. Temptation, lust, and gluttony are bound in this realm of desire. Confronting Slaanesh's champion will not be easy, for they are found within the 6 circles of seduction. As you journey inward, know that you will be lured by temptations beyond any your tepid imagination could conjure. In the center lies the Palace of Slaanesh, a monument to perpetual lust, excess, and debauchery.
Oh,
Saw the anger rinsing of chaos, and he was nourished by your cravings.
born to rule.
Okay, so Tsarina Katarin has entered the Tempter's realm, and we'll see how she does. I'm sure if they offer her a giant bear and a lot of ice,
I stand
she will
for
probably
Kislev.
fall to Temptation's power there, but we shall see. That's going to be all the time I have for this episode. I do hope you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you, and it was nice to be able to get to record something. So hopefully I will be able to get to do more recording soon. It has been crazy, but you know what? You never quit. You just keep going, folks. How we get it done around here. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you all soon with some more content.